On this week's episode, we celebrate our 50th consecutive podcast. Cal Ripken Jr. I don't think I've done anything for 50 consecutive weeks in a long time. On top of that, it's our final episode in the Costa Mesa studio. We actually have Rip and Nas in studio this go around. Say what up, boys.
What up?
What up?
Got both of them here. We got my guy Dom. We're on YouTube. We got a full production staff here. He's the best in Costa Mesa. Guy also knows Maui, so we got Dom doing production. It's gonna be a great episode. Tons of fun stuff to talk about. We're gonna go down memory lane. Enjoy.
This 50th episode of One Star Recruits is brought to you by Linked Phone. If you're a small business owner and tired of giving out your personal number to clients, you have to check out Linked Phone. Linked Phone provides local and toll-free business numbers that work where you work. Turn your personal cell phone into a work phone with the Linked Phone mobile app. It creates a dedicated second number so you can talk and text with clients on the go. Break free from the desk phone and go mobile. At Linked Phone, freedom rings. Linked Phone is offering an exclusive 30-day free trial for our listeners at linkedphone.com/onestar. That's the number 1, STAR. I've been telling all my realtor friends about it, DK. If you're a small business owner, check it out. Let's go.
Let's go. On the website too, www.onestar1starrecruits.com. You can find all of our links. Let's get it.
Hi, this is Jake Plummer, and you're listening to the One Star Recruits podcast.
You know, I say a lot of times I'm not a scientist, you know, and I see things coming, and then you're like, what do you do?
He needs a challenge, and now he usually wins with like first and second stringers. He probably wants to win with like third and fourth stringers.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Eddie George on One Star Recruits Podcast. These guys do it the best. Love you guys.
This is Spencer Torkelson. You're listening to the One Star Recruits Podcast. Go Devils.
Hey, everybody, this was Dickie D on the One Star Recruits Podcast, and they've been awesome, baby.
Yo, welcome back to another episode of the One Star Recruits Podcast. I'm joined, as always, in studio here in Costa Mesa by my best friend of 25 years, the proud new owner of a ping pong table, fellow Phoenix Suns supporter, especially during playoff time, UPN 45 watcher, possibly. Were you UPN 45 watcher?
Absolutely.
Did they carry all Suns games, if I'm not mistaken, road and home?
I think they had started to throw some on Fox Sports Arizona after a while, and 20 years ago, they were all on UPN.
That was nice. That was nice when that came on, that music. And yeah, you're right. Phoenix Suns fever in the house, though. We got, what's up, Nas? We got Nas in studio.
What's up, boys?
How's it feel? This is your first time in here. Was everything you expected?
It's fantastic. You don't get to see the whole production when you're across a Zoom meeting.
Right.
But this is great. I love it.
We figured we'd bring all of us together for this little final episode. It's our 50th consecutive episode. I mentioned it in the intro a little bit.
Well, not final episode, just final episode in Costa Mesa. Just to be clear to listeners.
Yeah, and to be clear to listeners, I'm moving to Hawaii this weekend. Nas is from Walnut Creek. I want to talk about that a little bit. Rip's here in SoCal. So we're going to move into a new phase of the podcast, and we got Dom here. We're going to trial run it, getting our YouTube kind of set up, our vibe set up the way that we're going to get this thing growing to. Bottom line is, I don't think I've done shit consecutively for 50 days, or for 50 weeks. Have you, Rip? I guess you're raising kids, so you're doing all kinds of consecutives.
Yeah, about 6 hours or less of sleep for 50 straight days is mine.
Shit, man. Well, I'm glad to have you guys here. Nas, you flew on in. That was your first flight, right? That was your first...
First flight in a year and a half, maybe a little bit longer. Fascinating experience. I think a lot of people think that with COVID, everyone's going to look at the world differently and things like that. But that was not my experience at the airport. Everyone was back to business, back to usual. Yeah, people cramming in lines, no distancing whatsoever. You got people with masks off in the airport. It's like, look, do what you will. But there's no part of me that believes that society is going to change coming out of this, having seen the things that I've seen.
Did you see any fights at the airport? I saw a flight attendant get slugged last week on Southwest.
I did.
Where, on the news? In person?
Yeah, I think I sent you the clip.
Yeah. I saw that. Nothing happened while I was there.
He did for our listeners, did the Oakland to Santa Ana flight, which is a very business flight usually, unless there's a lot of Disneylanders on that particular flight.
There was a lot of kids on the flight.
You get a lot of the Disneyland travelers. The flights tend to come out of Orlando.
Sacramento. That was from Sacramento.
That was a Sac. You usually can tell the cities.
The 916, baby.
Yeah. That's what's crazy. No, but it's. I'm glad that you got through it, Nas. You know, you guys heard about my trials and tribulations with my travel disasters over the last couple of weeks. It's good to be back. I did a little road trip. Let's get into just this last week, because you did where, Rip? Solano Beach, San Diego?
Solano Beach, Southern California. Yep.
So that was a big Memorial Day getaway?
Yeah, and hotels 100% capacity, big soccer tournament down there. Shit's coming back, man. It's
That was a
almost
vibe
back
for
to
you.
normal.
Yeah, hell yeah. So you took the whole family. You guys masked off, running around for just doing work, normal.
I mean, still masked for the most part, but we hit the beach a few times. It was nice, which wasn't that crowded. It wasn't super hot, but that was cool. Gas prices are crazy. That was the one thing that I didn't like.
Yeah. That's true. It was in Arizona. I did the courtside fill up. You get good value.
Classic.
Yeah, still some good value out there in Arizona with gas. That is a pain in the ass, though. I did Arizona. I obviously went to the Suns game. Let's talk about it. Let's shift over. You guys got any questions for me about the Suns game? I mean, first things first that I want to throw out and represent. Very rarely in Arizona history, especially when a Los Angeles team comes to town, is the ratio even 50-50.
Yeah, what was their percentage? That's my question. The percentages.
70-30.
70 Phoenix, 30 Lakers.
30 Lakers, and I would probably say 10 to 15% you can call them just LeBron people, which made me feel great. I was kind of, Nas, a little bit similar to you. Phoenix is wild. They're crazy over there with the no masks and not giving a shit. So in the arena, my first instinct was kind of like, shit, I got to just get my flow back. I got to be okay. I'm vaccinated. But something happened. Some humanistic thing happened. I started seeing smiles and human things, and my body reacted nicely to that. Endorphins rolled through a little bit and shit. So I see both sides of the game right now, man, because it was nice to see some smiling faces. It was a tough loss. It was great to see LeBron. Overall, my vibe, though, as far as Phoenix is concerned, and being a Phoenix fan, we're going to talk about it a little bit with Sammy in our playoff hitter. I'm proud, bro. I bought my Warren Lotus shorts. I'm getting my merch. People leaving today. I was getting Baja Fish Tacos here in Costa Mesa. A couple Lakers fans in there. I gave them a big go Suns. No fear, bro. Throwing it out there. So things are great. Looking up and up for the Valley, and basketball is my biggest takeaway. Nas, from the outside looking in, you're up in Walnut Creek. What do you think about our Suns nonsense? Is it nonsense to you? You can be honest.
As I grow older, I become less and less fans of teams and more fans of individual players.
That's common NBA.
But I also think that's because of my now love for tennis and just removing myself from the let me root for an individual team because that's where I'm from.
I like that. So who's your Suns player? Book.
I mean, it's got to be Booker because
Gotta
it'll
be.
never be Chris Paul. So it's got to be Booker.
Well, there it is. So we're not going to get a Go Suns out of Nas, but we're feeling good, Rip, and proud to be here with you, bro. Another example of Phoenix kind of coming up a little bit. I had a streets in New York.
You guys should feel good because you are now officially the betting favorite for the series.
Oh, really? That's after AD. Well, we don't know yet. They haven't announced anything.
Irrelevant. I'm just saying the series price to win the series, the books have you as the
You gonna
favorite.
do it, Rip? You gonna open your account?
If I have time tonight, I might try. But
That's a no. He's not.
He's
doing
into
it.
blood
He's
money.
Not doing
Blood
it.
money.
He's not doing it.
Well, that's a good sign that things are on the up and
We
up.
call it how it is, Rip.
I'm not doing it.
He's out. But so Phoenix is good. I did the Phoenician Rip. Shout out to a former guest on the pod, Dave White, and you, where you guys valeted 19 years ago, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
Scottsdale. I said hello to Doug, our friend Doug, who's still there, who knows you, and who is a one-star listener. We got a great picture. It's a great hotel. You have any questions for me? I know. Can you please give the listeners at least one Phoenician story from 19 years ago? You have a handful of them, and I know you hold back every time like a biatch.
You want the Tiger Woods one or the Mike Tyson one?
No, I'll let Nas pick. Which one you want? And Rich ain't a bullshitter forever.
Tiger.
There it is.
So Tiger, when he was married to Elin, before he was sleeping with the Coco's waitresses, he was out there for a golf tournament, and I was working graveyard Bellman valet shift. And about 2 in the morning,
shift.
2 hookers come up to the front asking for a ride. Well,
Just for legal. Alleged.
2 alleged prostitutes come up to the room asking for his specific room number and casita. So I drove him in a golf cart out there, and so that was kind of the beginning of his spiral. That wasn't for another year that he got kind of busted with that and got divorced and all that. So
that was early. So you
Phoenician
could have
was in early
TMZ'd
on
that. Were you? Did you say anything to the ladies?
No, it was a super awkward golf cart ride at 2 in the morning when you know what they're there for.
It was clear. They were they prepping? Were they doing back in the tunnel
makeup
before you run out to the court? You get pumped.
I
Little
don't
makeup.
even know if they know who they're going to see. It's just
I mean, in '97, probably you didn't even know.
No, I knew Tiger was in that room, but
I remember a
they
couple
might
of shots at that Phoenix Open that year. He was feeling good. That's probably why.
Yeah, that might have did it for him, pushed him over the edge.
They got bomb chicken tenders there at Phoenician too. So maybe it was that as well.
The pools, chicken tenders.
The pool's crazy. Oh yeah, I want to do that. It's not my wreck of the week, but if you have kids and you're in the Southwest area and looking for a getaway, I don't know. It might not be in the value guy range. I got a discount there, so I took advantage of it. It also gets to like 120 degrees, so I assume they do discounted stuff. But the pools there are amazing. Full water slide, full lazy river.
Right at the bottom of Camelback Mountain. There's not a better setting in Phoenix.
They should be a sponsor, man. But it was a great time out there. So great time in Phoenix. Things are coming together. I was just excited to hear some of the names my boy Sammy dropped. Looking forward to the future. It's tough, Nas, to think about beating LeBron in a series. Like, I don't even really let my head go there fully. I believe, like we believe, Warriors.
He's a hard guy to close out, man. It's one of the toughest things to do in sports.
I think tonight is like a huge turning point, I think, because I called out a couple weeks ago on the pod. I'm waiting for one of those 40, 15, 12 games from LeBron. I don't know if he's capable of it anymore after seeing this series.
He's got to.
He's either going to do that tonight and the Lakers are going to win, or this could be the end of LeBron right here. You might see that if the Lakers
That's a
go out
hot
in the
take.
first round of the Suns, this is the end of LeBron.
He's spending $2 million on his body every year. That's the new number. It went up from $1 million.
He's also getting a year older every year.
I know. Mine and his hairline too, and our guy Dom's. I mean, but Trae Young. If Trae Young's taught us anything, hairstyles don't matter. So rip, it's all good. You can still be great at basketball potentially.
That's true.
Man, let's keep it on hoops a little bit. We haven't done this in a while. We do, Nas, kind of some quick hitter games. I'll drop some games on the guest every now and again. I think this is a good time just in the first round of the NBA before we shift over to Sammy's 10 minutes to give out some quick awards. I'll start with you, Rip. I think I know who it is. You've been on his nuts for pretty much the whole year. Who is your round one MVP so far?
I'm gonna go with my guy Embiid. I know he's hurt right now, but he's just been tearing it up.
Yes.
I mean, they lost the game last night when he was out, but we'll see if he gets back.
There was a major factor. As soon as he went out, it was like clear and obvious he was the best guy on the court.
Mean, he had 36 points in 28 minutes the other night. He's averaging over a point a minute in the series.
I didn't like him early. He's growing on me more and more. How about you, Nas? Who's your MVP round one early?
I grew up a Celtics fan, and we only put up banners for championships. So I'm not going to give you a finals round one MVP. That's ridiculous.
Some guys have been playing better than others, though.
I will give you an LVP, and that's the fans. Because whatever the hell is going on in these crowds is fucking ridiculous.
That's
fair.
The
LVP. It's the fans.
I have a take. I don't know if you guys agree with it fully. I think the fuckery is at an all-time high in general. Driving on the streets, going to the grocery store, anything. Like, I went to the UPS store today. There was 3 people in line, and the only word that I have is fuckery. Like, really? Like, the respect doesn't seem to be there. And I feel like that may be matriculating into these public settings a little bit more. My hope, maybe I'm wrong, I'm hoping by the time school starts, maybe August, people start getting life back together. But I'm buckling my seatbelt in for 3 more months. It's going to start next weekend in Miami with the Floyd Mayweather, Logan Paul fight. Full fuckery is in effect right now in this scene, is my take.
I just want to know what these people are thinking when they decide to do these things. Like, do you think there's no consequences, or are you in it for the clout? Like, what are you looking for?
Maybe it's just pent-up frustration from being in the house for a year. People are adjusting back
Sexual
to society.
tendency. Maybe people need to get laid.
Who knows, yeah.
Oh, man. It's bad, man. I don't want to spend too much time on it, but you're right, Nas. Great point. Loser of the week in the playoffs, for sure, the fans. Get it together. If that happens in Phoenix, words will be had, Rip. Okay?
Stern words.
Stern words will be had. Nas probably won't give me an. For me, I'm going to go with Trae Young. He's carrying that team right now emotionally. The man got spit on in New York. He's playing in the hardest place to play in, and he clearly has a target on his back, and he's owning it. And we talk about that on the podcast, and he's doing it. And I think kind of owning whatever that character is, I don't know if it's a villain or not, he's making shots and he's making that young team better. So Trae Young's my MVP. Second one, we'll just do one more. Coach so far. Nas, you can sleep on it. You don't have to give anybody. Rip, who do you got so far? There's been some interesting coaching decisions.
I was going to say Rick Carlisle, but
right?
he's lost the last 2.
Turning real fast as soon as your best guy gets a little banged up.
I'm going to go with my guy Monty Williams because I wasn't super supportive of the hire, but he's definitely won me over for obvious reasons. I mean, Chris Paul has helped, but yeah, Monty Williams, he's made some good adjustments, and I think that he's because of the Anthony Davis injury and some other factors, he's got the Lakers right where he wants them.
He listens, too. He listens. He didn't try to, with this whole Chris Paul situation, I would have probably messed it up 10 times over by now. He seems to be patient and listening to his best player. Nas, you got a coach for us so far, is doing at least something that you like. We don't have to give him VP.
Ty Lue made the right adjustments to put the Mavericks back on their heels. So
Okay, we're not going to give that on Luka's shoulders.
some of it is on Luka, but I mean,
Literally, his shoulder.
my concern with Luka is that this dude has not shown the ability to stay healthy for a full regular and playoff run every year. And granted, it's a small sample size, but every year something happens in the playoffs for him. And again, small sample size, but if he can't stay healthy, then how are they going to have these runs? But credit to Ty Lue for making some adjustments with Patrick Beverley and all of that.
He better. Everybody's gone there.
Yeah, I mean, you cannot beat the Clippers with what they're paying and have a first-round exit.
He better. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, they better. We'll see. I'm going to keep my eyes. I like that particular series. I'm going to stay with Atlanta. I think that Nate McMillan took over an interesting situation. Lloyd Pierce got let go. Travis Schleck was his job was basically done. He had to make a do-or-die decision, and it seemed like he did. I'm not saying they're gonna beat Philly or they're going to go deep in the playoffs, but they're definitely going to beat the Knicks, and they're my team to watch in the playoffs as far as my NBA ticket's concerned. So that's what I'm going to go with. We're going to stick in playoff zone. We're going to shift on over to NBA analytics guru. He's currently the director of coach analytics for the Detroit Pistons basketball team. He's a former GSW and SCW. He's done all kinds of G League work. He's really one of the smartest basketball minds in the game. Enjoy this interview, this 10 minutes with Sammy Gelfand. All right, one-star recruits. We are joined by our special guest on our 50th show. We're in the middle of the NBA playoffs, so what better person do I have in my Rolodex than the analytics coaching director for the Detroit Pistons, all around best basketball mind / best human / worst eater ever, Sammy the Legend Gelfand. Welcome to the One Star Recruits, my friend.
Thank you. Really appreciate you guys having me on.
Hey, it's so good to have it's good to hear your voice and see your face, Sammy. I want to get right into it. We're in the middle of playoff basketball. I was lucky enough to see LeBron last week in Phoenix get a game on the road. They're back in Phoenix for another game. This podcast drops on Wednesday, so talk to us in the future here a little bit about – it's a two-part question. One, all my friends and Phoenix Suns fans are talking about what player could the Suns get to go to the next level. We think we need bigs. The follow-up question is, do they have what it takes right now to get through the Lakers?
So I'll answer the second question first. I do think they have what it takes to get through the Lakers. I think the growth of DeAndre Ayton has been huge for, Phoenix. And I think the Lakers, after losing JaVale McGee and Dwight Howard in free agency, have really struggled to kind of contain Ayton. Obviously, the big question is going to be Chris Paul's health. With Chris Paul being healthy, and he looked pretty good in game 4. You have one of the ultimate closers in playoff basketball. And now you have a lineup, of Paul, Booker, Ayton, Bridges, and Crowder that can match up with any 5 that the Lakers throw out there. Obviously, it'd be nice if Jay Crowder could hit a 3 anytime soon. But, with Crowder's defense and his ability to frustrate LeBron, gives him a lot of options. So I do think Phoenix, especially with the Davis injury, it's going to be really hard for the Lakers, to be able to beat the Suns unless we see some major growth from Kuzma and Schroeder kind of in these next, 2 games. Do you think the series has a very good chance of going 7? I do like the Suns to kind of win game 5, but, it will be – I think it will still be a very close series. Winning on the road and closing out against LeBron, not the easiest thing to do. Have a little bit of firsthand experience with that.
Yeah, you have firsthand. I think we're going to talk about that. Okay, give me my second follow-up. Talk to Phoenix Suns fans. Who's a player on a radar that could fit in that system to get to the next level?
So I think Phoenix has a really nice core of young players, with Booker, with Ayton, with Bridges, with Cam Johnson, and they got the constant pro and kind of, Chris Paul. But I do think what they probably need is a versatile 3-4 who can kind of score in a lot of different ways, kind of like a Tobias Harris type or, Now, a name that could be interesting could be a Jimmy Butler. I don't know what his situation is going to be in Miami. I think he gives them an element that they don't necessarily have. Now, that may be a little bit of a stretch, maybe a little bit of a dream scenario, though I will say Phoenix is going up in a lot of people's books. Monty Williams is a great coach, great front office, great coach, and you got already kind of that core. But, like a Tobias Harris, Jimmy Butler, I think another guy to talk about is Jaylen Brown from Boston. I think he, again, could maybe
Keep talking dirty to me, Sammy.
Boston may need to kind of shake things up. Maybe we'll want a little bit more depth. And I think, and they have a lot of the salaries that can match. And Jalen will kind of give them a little bit of that, kind of one-on-one defender, but also kind of an ISO scorer that can, start with Booker and Paul, but maybe also come off the bench and score a little bit for him. But I think that 3-4 combo player is really kind of what they should be looking for in free agency.
There it is. Thank you, Sammy.
Hey, Sammy, it's Rip here. So you talked a little bit about health in that last question with DK and Chris Paul, but the Sixers, I'm a Philadelphia native, and it looks like Joel Embiid is going to be a long shot for Game 5. But assuming his knee is healthy, they haven't been to the finals in 20 years when our guy, friend of the pod, Larry Brown, was coaching them. Can they get past the Brooklyn Nets or the Bucks to get to the finals?
I like their ability to get past Brooklyn a little bit more than I like their ability to get past Milwaukee. I think with Joel Embiid, Philadelphia has one of the premier players at controlling the pace of the game. You can throw it to Embiid, you can slow down the tempo, and in the playoffs, the game naturally slows. He can score on the block, he can draw some fouls, he can even take out a lot of centers past the three-point line and drive by him. Obviously, his health is going to be of the major concern. The one other nice thing about Embiid as a player is he can also keep on the floor defensively. Brooklyn's going to try and go small, but they're going to make Brooklyn take a lot of tough shots. You have two of the premier defenders in the league in Simmons and Embiid that can match up, I think, as well with Brooklyn as any team kind of in the NBA. Milwaukee is going to be kind of the interesting test because you got Brook Lopez, who's big enough to kind of frustrate Embiid a little bit, but you also got the Drew Holiday, Middleton, Giannis kind of trio, which I think puts a lot of challenges that they can throw a lot of different bodies on Simmons. The question is can Seth Curry and Danny Green make enough shots to kind of keep defensive honest? And when Tobias Harris has his minutes where he's kind of the primary scorer, can he kind of keep the, second unit afloat and kind of be able to carry them in the minutes and Embiid misses, and doesn't play? So obviously Embiid's health is going to be the main thing. I think it's going to be I think they'll take care of Washington, even if Embiid can't play in Game 5. I think it'll be very hard to beat Brooklyn or Milwaukee without Embiid. But I like their chance against Brooklyn a little bit more than I do against Milwaukee. But I do think it'll be a hell of a series either way.
Great. We'll see how it plays out. 20 years since their last finals makes me feel old seeing Pat Croce ring that bell the other day.
I can imagine.
All right, Sammy. So I know you were the guy that kind of gave the idea with the Warriors about moving the ball around a bit more, the 300 passes. I think that's pretty cool. I want to talk about a different period with the Warriors. So 2016, up 3-1. What is that flight like back? Because I'll tell you on the employee side, not in the coaching department, that flight back, like you've got guys that are celebrating like the series is done, right? We had one guy kind of saying, well, Draymond might get suspended. We don't know. But on the player plane, like what is that flight like back?
Obviously Game 4 was a, very heated game. We had kind of gotten blown out in Game 3, but we knew we had to kind of get a game on the road. So there's a little bit of that satisfaction winning that crucial road game. Obviously Charles Barkley, I think, is famous for saying series doesn't start until a team wins on the road. So obviously getting that, first road win is huge, but there's, obviously the Draymond thing was kind of hanging over us. We kind of knew that there was something was going to happen with it. We didn't know if it was going to be a suspension, a fine, kind of how that was going to go. But I think the main thing kind of for us was just trying to figure out how do we close out the series and trying to think what adjustments are they going to make, because they're desperate now. So now everything that we think could be on the board, they're going to go wild because they have no, if they lose, there's no tomorrow. So a lot of the work on the plane is kind of being done okay, what are some of the things that they could be doing right now, to kind of take advantage? They had a big win in Game 3. What kind of things can we learn from Game 3 that maybe they're going to try and go back to in Game 5 to kind of get that win? There was a little bit of arrogance, not arrogance may not be the right word, but we were feeling pretty good. Obviously 3-1 going back home, Oracle is rocking, we always did well at kind of the games in Oracle, but a lot of the work on the flight was just trying to figure out, just what curveball are they going to throw at us? What lineup are they going to throw that we've never seen before? What matchup? How are they going to get LeBron going? How are they going to get Kyrie going? Are they going to try and get Kevin Love going? Just trying to think of all those different scenarios of okay, what is the one thing that we think that they've done or that they've done in earlier playoff series that, they have to do this right now or they're done.
No, for sure. I mean, it's exactly what you alluded to earlier. Closing out a guy like LeBron is never easy. So
no, it's it's going to give me nightmares for the rest of my life. I mean, he's an incredible player. I mean, when you get to close him out, you really savor those moments because they don't happen as often as you would like.
Hey, I mean, I think you still got 3. So
Yeah, I
that-
probably shouldn't complain too much.
oh,
I have some friends from Cleveland who like to rub 2016 in my face, and 3-1. That's the series lead. It's also the ring counter too. So,
All right, Sammy, there it is. Thank you for our inside look at the NBA playoffs. I'm not going to let you go without giving us one little tidbit about something in Detroit. Who's somebody I should know about on your Pistons?
ooh, I mean, to me, I really got to just talk about the young guys. The Sadiq Bey, Isaiah Stewart. Those two are two of the hardest working, players I've ever seen. They want to get better. They're putting in all the work. They take no breaks. I think they're going to be a major, piece of our core moving forward, and guys that the Detroit fans are going to fall in love with for a lot of good reasons.
Those are the guys. You said the names. You said the names I wanted to hear. Okay, Sammy, where can we find you on social?
On Instagram, it's the Tel Aviv Tornado, and I'm a lot more boring on Twitter at Sammy Gelfand. So
There it is. One of the best in basketball, one of the best to ever do Santa Cruz, California. Shout out to JP. Shout out to Rob. Shout out to all of our friends in Santa Cruz. Sammy, we're going to have you on the show for basketball takes every now and again. Can I count you in for that?
Absolutely. This was an absolute joy. Thanks so much, Dana.
All right, my guy. We'll talk to you later.
All right. See you.
All right, welcome back. Thank you, Sammy, for joining us. You can catch him at Tel Aviv Tornado on Insta. And also, if you're ever in Detroit, shoot him a DM. He's one of the smartest guys I know. If you like hoops, he'll definitely talk hoops with you. Appreciate that. Let's shift over, guys. I want to take a moment in time to thank you. Thank you both. Rip, thank you for the beginning. This is our 50th episode. It is a big deal. That's why we're putting it on tape. What up? And we're trying to commemorate it a little bit. And so first, before anything, thank you, brother, for the ride and getting this started and chasing down all these guests. I appreciate you a lot for beyond that stuff, but definitely just kind of kicking my ass with this and keeping the ball rolling.
Yeah, it's been awesome, man. It's a team effort, and Nas came on board not too long ago, and everything's been great, man. We're rolling, we're improving, we're getting better every week. So let's see what the next 50 brings.
That's like always looking forward, bro. Tell me before I let you move on. What's been your best? If you close your eyes and just think, what hits you first as your best memory, favorite memory?
Best memory, I think it has to be the Jake Plummer interview, which was like our third or fourth, just because
great one.
So much nostalgia there with grown-up Cardinals fans, and then like the end of the interview when he said, if you see me rolling right and I got a man in the flat for a 5-yard gain,
it's classic snake line.
Downfield, you know where I'm going with that ball. Like, yeah, that was just
everybody knows he's gonna launch. That was so good. Yeah, you check that one out. That was a great moment. I mean, I think it was so epic when you got Montel Jordan to this is how you do with ours.
So many of that was amazing.
That was pretty good. That was my top one. I really enjoyed having George and Kirk, the owners and founders of PSD Underwear, in studio. Even though the audio sucked that day, was with PSD Underwear. Check it out. I mean, that story still, and they're still going. I just talked to George recently. They're about to get on the road again and go out doing trade shows and getting back on the streets. So
that LeBron story was pretty incredible that he shared.
Bro, it's a great episode. That was one of the moments for me that was pretty rad here at Avin Studio. How about you, Naz? You got a memory that jumps out at you?
Favorite memory for me has to be the Solomon Thomas interview. Just, I'm a big fan of talking to athletes and kind of humanizing them a little bit, and that's exactly what that conversation was. It's a guy just like me with a lot more athletic ability and a couple more zeros in his bank account. Other than that, not much different.
Got that Stanford degree too, player. That one's a nice little tucker too. But that was a great episode. You guys did a really awesome job on that interview. It was mental awareness. It actually flows in. It's a nice segue, Nas, into what's happening with the French Open. Update our listeners a little bit on just kind of the situation.
Yep. So pretty gnarly stuff going on over there. So Naomi Osaka, just coming off winning the Australian Open. She's at the French Open, second major of the year. Comes out and says, before the tournament starts, I'm not doing any more press conferences during this tournament. I'm taking care of my mental health. I'm putting myself first, and I'm not going to do this. In the background, it's because she is someone that hasn't had the same level of performance that she's had on hard court as she has been having on clay. So she gets asked a lot of questions in the media about, how are you going to do? And are you playing to your standards and things like that? And it's like, as an athlete, that weighs on you. And
anybody, what if somebody came in right now and said, Nas, how was that last sentence you just said on the podcast?
Right.
Do you want to say it again?
Right.
If you could do it again, would you try
and
it
just
differently?
repeatedly, right? Like constantly, right?
It's a bitch.
And then Naomi's sister, I believe, came out and said that a family member basically said to Osaka that she's not that good on clay. So now you're getting from the media, you're getting it at home, right? And again, I don't know how accurate that story is. I'm just reporting kind of what I've seen on Twitter and things like that. But when you're getting that, that's going to weigh on you. So she basically said, I'm not doing this anymore. The French Open, along with all the other majors, basically came out and said, you're going to be fined $15,000 for not doing media for your first appearance, with higher fines as we go, leading up to a potential default from the tournament. And Naomi basically, after the first round, she advanced from the first round, said, I'm going to withdraw myself.
After she won.
After she won the first round.
Right.
You've got to win like 7 to win, right?
Yeah.
And she just took herself out. And the irony of this, to me, is you just had a second player today, Petra Kvitova. I think she's ranked 11th in the world currently. She apparently fell and hurt her ankle at a press conference after winning.
That's ironic. I didn't know that.
She hurt herself at the press conference.
Look at that. Look at the universe. Look at Don. You see the universe working, man?
And now she said that, hey, the MRI came in and I'm going to withdraw out of precaution as well.
Damn.
So in the span of 2 days, you've lost 2 top seeds, all because of media.
Yeah.
And the athletes are kind of right here.
Should we cancel press conferences? Rip, should we cancel?
on Zoom.
Should we cancel? I mean, shit is
Zoom
that?
on Zoom.
I don't really give a shit about him. I take that back. I like to see Draymond. I like to see a handful of people.
I like it.
I just don't think that they should be mandatory.
Yeah, well, you might
Who
not
would
have
do
anyone
it?
doing
Who would do it? You would have
All right, but it's the
low
reporters are so
Kelly
disrespectful.
Oubre.
You have reporters that take the NBA playoffs, right? You have the podium games, things like that, right? There are times where you've seen star athletes come up with like this bench guy who put up like 30 points and won the game, and reporters don't ask the bench dude anything, and they're constantly bombarding the star player with questions. And it's like, have some fucking respect. And my point is that the media just thinks that stories should be handed to them, and they don't actually know how to be empathetic and learn how to get stories from players. Like what we do, like the guys that we talk to, and I'm not saying that I'm a journalist by any means, but the stories that we get guys to tell on our podcast are usually stories that haven't really been shared before. And we do that just by building a relationship with them in a 30-minute interview call. You're telling me that a media professional can't do that? Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, it's research. It's not listening to, and Rip knows more than I do too. You have people in higher offices always looking for. At the end of the day, everybody's trying to make some damn money, but it is a thing that needs to be revamped and relooked at. I think, especially with Zoom now and with other ways. How about this? How about this idea? And maybe it's not Clubhouse, but the athlete can sit on their own and take maybe from 12 questions, they can pick 2 that they want and take it wherever they want. Take it in after the game at your house. Take it on your drive home. Whatever.
Yeah.
Just an idea. Let me ask you this, Nas, as we move away from this. Actually, I'll ask you, Rip. Osaka is a Nike athlete. This is mental health awareness. We've been touching on it. Something that means a lot to this podcast, means a lot to other people. Is this something that Nike, as a company, is it time to take the ropes and campaign and get behind their athlete with mental health?
If they haven't already, they need to, because it's something that people support and that are fully aware of now.
It's got to happen.
Yeah, if
somebody's
they don't,
asleep.
they're missing
Somebody's
the
asleep at the wheel if Nike doesn't
Exactly.
use this as an opportunity to shed light rather than push aside. You agree, Nas?
Yep.
Yeah, full-hearted. Okay, so French Open. Is that our guy Federer supposed to win this? Is that a cash corner?
No, that is Wimbledon. I
Okay.
don't see Federer winning this French Open.
I
by
did
any
watch him take a
chance.
W yesterday, and I thought, damn, he looks shaky. So I hope that wasn't the cash corner. That's Wimbledon.
No, that's Wimbledon. That's still a month out. So that's some
Okay,
time there.
let's shift over. We got our video. We got Dom in the house. He's a big NHL guy, big Anaheim Ducks fan. Seymour's been asking for more hockey. My Cavs scored 6 goals earlier this week.
Your Cavs?
I suck at hockey.
My ass.
My abs.
Wrong sport, DK.
I know, bro. Sorry, Dom. Sorry, Seymour. I'm still my Avalanche.
There you go.
Don't ask me to even name players.
Apologies to our Colorado listeners.
Man. Nevertheless, offensive machine against Vegas, who, as far as I know, tell me if I'm wrong, it could be a system thing now I'm learning in hockey. The system, Vegas seems to maybe be a better squad, but it's a bad matchup with Colorado. Could be wrong there. But they're moving along really, really well for me in my pick, the Colorado Avalanche. How's your squad doing, Nas?
Hurricanes are down 0-1 to the reigning defending champs, the Tampa Bay Lightning. So a little bit of trouble. But they came off a pretty emotional series. I mean, they had against Nashville, 4 consecutive games went to overtime.
Damn.
They lost. They lost.
That's what you love. That's when you always be that's when you blow up the group chat when NHL games hit OT.
I mean, it's 2 of those games went to double overtime. Like it's
good
chaos.
shit.
It's fun.
It is chaos.
Golden goal. Like you never know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
4 straight overtime games. Like that's pretty impressive to me. So they're down 0-1, but I always think that coming off an emotional series, the first game is pretty tough to win. So we'll see if they can tie it up.
Hell yeah. I love it, man. I love it. Rip, what do you go ahead. Give us your hockey take.
I'm looking for the Coyotes to bounce back from their first round defeat next year.
Hell
yeah, it's always next year for the Coyotes.
Oh, I love it, man. I love it. Always ready to get any Coyotes who want to come on the pod. Maybe we're gonna get Seymour on. You're gonna learn, Rip. You will learn. All right. We're gonna turn you into an NHL fan.
Seymour.
Hey, let's go to let's move into everybody's favorite section. We got Nas here in the house. I know you punted last week due to odds not looking decent. Show us the glory land, brother. I'm moving to Hawaii. I need to figure out some hacks to get some money.
So first question for you: what are you doing with your car?
Good question. We're shipping it over. $1,500.
So I just talked about last week selling my car. I'll get into a gambling thing, but CarMax sold my car to CarMax, and I did a quote online, and they gave me $2,400 for this beat up, 05 Camry.
Wow.
And I get that, which is pretty impressive. And I think it's
wow, says the value guy. It doesn't even seem that good to me.
When Nas was describing his car last week, I pegged it at about $1,600.
Oh, you've estimated $1,500.
Well, I mean, you've got some body damage to it. You've got 216,000 miles on it. Like, it's an old car, right?
Yeah.
Certainly doesn't have the features that you do in today's tech, right? So I take it over there. They do the inspection, all that stuff. And then the person at the counter tells me $1,400. And I'm like, what changed in 24 hours?
Yeah.
So they call up someone, and
we saw your piece of shit car.
They call someone up, and then they adjust it back to $2,400. So I don't know what kind of scam they're running over there, but always do your own homework
Bring that receipt in.
and bring up the value to them again, because
it's probably worth the money loss that you got the quote. It's probably a future customer acquisition cost to you was not in that bubble of the difference worth a fight.
Well, if I hadn't looked that up beforehand and put in all the numbers and gotten what the quote was, if they had told me $1,400, I'd be like, okay, I wasn't expecting that to begin with, right? To what Rip said. But within 24 hours,
They exceeded your expectations.
yeah, well, within 24 hours, why would it go down by $1,000?
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy. So that is one Cash Corner segment. Always do your homework.
Yeah, I wonder if they would do that with Rip. I wonder if maybe it's even the Indian. You came in as the darker skin. They tried to hit you, maybe.
I don't got that dark skin though.
Yeah, that's true.
No,
I got the golden caramel brown most of the year.
You
So
like that? You like that Steph Curry CarMax commercial with Sue Bird? It's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
That's
a pretty
pretty good.
commercial.
Those writers nailed it there.
That was really, yeah.
CarMax,
really.
you want to sponsor? That's a pretty good commercial. Respect.
So going back to the gambling part of Cash Corner, I just touched on this, that the first game after an emotional, grueling series is hard to win. Tomorrow, the Jets play the Canadiens. The Canadiens just upset the Maple Leafs. The Maple Leafs were up 3-1 in the first round. Huge favorites to win. Had a couple of injuries.
What are they going to do when the Canadian teams have to come here?
They may not make it that far. We'll see.
Okay, that's
We'll
still a
see.
we'll see.
We'll
Shit.
see.
I didn't
No, I take that back, because one will make it to the Final Four.
Right.
And I think they've kind of kicked the can down the road a little bit, to be like, well,
I didn't
what's
even
going to
think
happen
about
then?
that. Wrap up the Cash Corner. We can do-
So Montreal, amazing comeback against a tortured Toronto franchise / fan base. First game's going to be really tough. I'm going to take Winnipeg to win game 1. I think Winnipeg's a solid team. I think, it's just. I can go into more, but we're short on time. So first game after a grueling series, hard to win.
Yeah.
I'll take the Jets. I think they're minus 125, minus 130.
Ooh. They got better sweaters too, in my opinion.
And just as a fun one, if you want to throw it in there for Roland Garros, the French Open, Tommy Paul plus 6.5 games. American. Tommy Paul plus 6.5 games and plus 285 on the money line against Daniil Medvedev.
Oh shit! Really? We like Medvedev usually.
We do like Medvedev. He's a great person. He is hilarious with his antics on the court sometimes, but we've talked about this before. We don't think he's that great on clay.
Yeah.
And so for plus 285, I will take that value.
I like to go to Roland Garros and eat some bread and
Worst,
drink wine.
Really? Worst major. Fan experience wise, worst major.
Is this hot?
No, it's just a shitty experience.
Really? I feel like the French
it's
would
hard
do
to
it
get
right.
tickets. It's the French Open is, and I've been to all four, so I feel like I can say this with authority. The French Open, it's ridiculous to get tickets, and at the end of the day, I think that they really value the people that are paying a premium for that premium experience. They'll take care of you doing that. If you're just an average Joe guy, they don't really give a shit.
Right. Maybe that's typical French too.
How much is a beer and how much is a crepe?
So what you know about crepes? Rib?
I don't know. I don't recall. But by the way,
my guess,
like
my guess would be 14 euros for the beer, 18 euros for the crepe.
I'm out.
You're out. That would be my guess.
I will say to our French listeners, France was a great country to be in. And once I was at the French Open, it was fine and I had a good time. But the experience of getting tickets from someone outside of the country, that is what made it the worst. Compared to the Australian Open, which was super easy to do, and Wimbledon, which was relatively easy to do as well. You just got to get there early.
Right. Maybe through this pod we'll get press credentials out to Roland. Is that Roland Garros? That's the name. Is that the name
Roland
of the
Garros.
When I say it, is that just a different word for the French tournament, or is that the place that it's played in?
It's a different name.
It's just a different name.
Yeah,
okay.
it's Roland Garros and
Say
the
it,
French
Rip.
Open,
Give
same
us
thing.
one. Give us a roll.
Roland Garros. Sounds like a French man.
That's the Americanized.
Go
version,
Yotes. Go Yotes.
Arizona accent.
All right. Let's do our Rex of the Week, boys. This is a good show. It's my favorite section. Every episode we do our Rex of the Week. Anything in this world that has added value to our lives to make our lives better. Rip, I'm gonna pass it over to you. What you got?
I'm going to recommend something this week that's actually good for other podcasters or anyone else with a brand trying to build out a website. It's called Teespring. It's a website called Teespring. It's actually now Spring, but it's teespring.com. And we built our store on there a couple weeks ago, and it was super easy, super user-friendly. You pretty much just need a logo and a little imagination, and you can get a ton of products on the store. I think we have...
So we've been getting hits on the store. People have been buying fanny packs and T-shirts.
Yeah, I mean, just us. We aren't designers, but we've been selling some merch. We got, I think, 25 items on there: pint glasses, fanny packs, leggings, T-shirts, you name it. So, and Teespring makes it really easy. They give you a percentage of the revenue. It goes right to your bank account. So, yeah, check it out, teespring.com, anyone who's thinking about
You
building
can
out
get
a
that in the
store.
show notes. Yeah, they've been a really cool partner for us, man. Thanks for setting that up. Check out the website, www.onestar with the number 1 star recruits. Awesome. Other thing we're going to be doing there is we're going to get this episode, our 50th episode, will be a full YouTube version that will be, and we'll, what do you call it? What do you call it on the main page? Sizzle page? What do you call it?
Sizzle
No,
reel?
is that marketing? When you put it on the main page of the website, bam, it's right there in front of you.
Homepage?
Homepage. Banner,
Like,
yeah.
what are you
Dom's
talking
got us.
about? Like,
It's like the one that draws you in. It's like the
I'm
clickbait page.
overcomplicating it.
Yeah, you're overcomplicating it, Nas.
My bad.
Do not overcomplicate your wreck of the week, bro. What do you got?
Hypervolt. You were
Already,
ta-
I'm
you were-
already complicated. Just kidding.
Well, you were talking about your aches and pains,
Yeah, always.
and as anyone gets older, you want to take care of your body, like LeBron. Maybe not spending $2 million, but like LeBron, take care of your body. Hypervolt muscle percussion device, really good for those aches and pains. Do it after a workout, just kind of loosen up those muscles. It's just like giving yourself a massage.
Hell yeah.
Hypervolt. All the
it's one.
athletes
Oh,
use it.
it's a gun.
It's the gun.
Oh yeah, Rip. We need
the
them.
gun.
We need them as sponsors.
Yeah.
This thing is a life changer. It's a game changer.
Yeah.
Well, how much do those cost?
They're like 100.
I got mine around. I got mine 2, maybe 3 years ago, and I got it around Christmas time. There was a sale going on, so I got it then. I want to say 200.
Not bad.
I use it all the time.
Yeah, listen. If you're
All the
listening, hit us on Twitter. Let us know if that'd be a product that you'd be into. I would love to get my hands on a couple of those. I know I need one. I've been on these planes now. I'm back in the travel game, so my
Change your
body.
life.
Really? You're gonna give it a life changer stamp?
I mean, it's incredible. For
When do you use it? In the
recovery,
mornings?
after workout,
Yeah, after workout.
before workout. If I'm not feeling like working out, I'll do
Yeah.
it like just anytime.
I love it. All right, there it is. God, you guys are adding value to future podcaster and athletes. I'm gonna go.
And non-athletes, just taking care of your body.
That's true. That's true. Really, I need to open my mind to taking care of my body a little bit better with those types of tools. It's something that I still pass on if it's like more than $79, and it's like, damn, that could make my whole day better. And I need to take a quick. I might get one, Nas.
Look, it's for some people it might be a lot of money, but if you can afford it, there's a quote that I've heard, and it's, everyone has 2 lives, and the second one is when you realize you just have one.
Oh, that's heavy. That's some Naval shit.
Well, I'm just saying, like, you
Yeah.
gotta take care of yourself.
You gotta take care of
You're
yourself.
not getting younger, DK.
I tell
use it
people
all
don't
the
get the
time.
shitty toilet paper. That's a great reason.
It's true.
You ever rip toilet paper while you're doing a wipe? It's nothing worse because
Yeah,
someone
the public bathroom toilet paper versus the one at your house.
spend the money and sheets and maybe shoes if you can. I feel like elitist. Dom, what'd you think, bro? Too much? Record of the week. Record of the week for me. Well, you guys did value adds. I'm gonna do some hype beast. I went to the Suns game, so the Suns got to do new shit across the board. So everybody there, our friends at the Warriors, if you're listening, I know I got some friends high up in the merchandise game there. Check out what the Suns did last week. They teamed up with one of the best designers in the game, this guy Warren Lotus. He does all these cool images that kind of remind me of like Dia de los Muertos. LeBron was wearing the shirt when he came to the Phoenix game. It said like "Welcome to a bar" and it's LA colors. But it's this guy Warren Lotus. Check him out on social. LOTAS. He's doing collabs with sports teams now, doing these drops that you can only get in the team stores. And there were people in Arizona out on a Saturday, literally, fellas, 600, 700 deep, waiting in line for this drop at the team store. So it's a concept of taking a team store, right, Nas? You worked in the league for a minute. Taking a team store, which is relatively dry. You could just hype with your season ticket holders, or you do a logo change. You can dump energy into it. But this is kind of like doing a hot pop-up a little bit. And the social addition to the brand, these fucking shorts were $140. I would have never in my life, unless Simmons said, this shit will be worth $1,000, and if you don't do it now, you'll be pissed off. I would have never, unless somebody pushed me. So it's also not on the value side, but a good concept and a good idea, I think, for all sports teams to take advantage of an opportunity to turn what may be a dog in your portfolio of kind of asset generators, of revenue generators, and think outside the box. Bring in some hot fucking designers to do some merch collabs. Take some of your open space with some shitty food. Let somebody do a hot pop-up. Let the guy from Mission Chinese come in and do a hot pop-up on a Toronto game on a Tuesday. That's my rec of the week. Think outside the box, people.
That's the kind of creativity you need to keep seeing in sports. And we needed some one-star recruits collaborations with some NBA teams, too.
Yeah, we should just do some one-stars. I like New Jersey Sets, their company. I'm going to reach out to them. If anybody listening, Dom, you got any buddies in Boulder who want to do a collab with some merch? We're ready to stretch our limits on. I like this day like kind of a...
Dia de los Muertos.
Yeah, it's kind of like a cool look.
good.
And maybe, who knows, if LeBron's wearing it,
You're going to be the only person on Maui with those.
That's what Simmons said. That's how he got me. I said, man, I'm going to flex a little bit. All right, 50th episode. Thank you, boys. Wonderful, wonderful Rex. We did our shout-outs where you can find us online. I want to send off this 50th podcast with the future. We're traveling again. The world's open. I'm moving, obviously. You guys are doing things with your family. What are you most excited? What place are you most excited to travel to, and what are you most excited to eat in that place that you travel to?
That's easy for me. I'm ready to go to Maui, man, since you're going to be there, and I've never been to Hawaii. So
Oh, you never been?
I've never been, so I finally got a really good reason to go.
You eat fish?
I love fish.
Yeah, you like fish. Yeah, you're gonna do good
I
out
know,
there.
I know you live close to a Taco Bell, a Rocksmith.
Yeah, we're gonna maybe remember. I saw that they had though there a Kahlua pork regional dish that doesn't exist outside the island. Kahlua
I
pork
also saw the Waikiki
quesadilla.
Waikiki Brewing Company's right there, so I'm in on that.
All right, there it is. Rip's gonna get out to Hawaii. How about you, Nas?
Rip, if you're there in November, we can do another one of these and have everyone in
Oh
the studio.
shit! Maybe that's what we'll do.
I like that idea.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll send you the dates.
Fly Dom out too.
Yo. Oh shit! Dom's gonna fucking be there. We might have to run this back in Maui. What do you got? You got a place you're excited to visit and something you want to grab there?
So I know that my wife and I were going to Maui in November. That's probably most likely the next trip. Although there is an outside chance we might go to the U.S. Open.
Dope. NY?
In New York. In New York.
Yep.
So that's a couple of months out. We're looking into that. We've got some credit with Alaska Airlines to use, and I mean New York's just
You got
we've
it.
got all these options. So
much to eat there.
my wife loves pizza, so probably some spot in New York that we haven't been to for pizza.
I love it. I
Probably
got
that.
some Rex. I'll get them to you before you head out.
There we go.
There's also some ramen there that we go crazy for. Hell yeah. I'm most excited I already did it. I went to Arizona last week and I went to fucking Ted's Hot Dogs and it was glorious. I got a Polish, I got a brat, and I got onion rings and it was glorious. Ted's Hot Dogs, Broadway. Thank you so much for joining the podcast. 50th episode. Please, if if anything for me, doing something for 50 consecutive weeks, if you want to give me any gift in life, go to our Apple listing and give us 5 stars and throw us a review. Anything works. You can even tell me how much I suck. Watch this YouTube video. Special shout out. Dom, come here. Come get in the mic. Tell people where they can find you because you're kicking ass with this this setup for us.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Dom Rubino Media, production, big and small.
Big and small. He's here in Southern California. He does a lot of real estate shit. He does a lot of podcast stuff. If you just want to make a music video and just ready, you know what's cool? I see a lot of real estate agents doing cool shit like that for houses. It separates them a little bit. So, adding value all over the place.
If you enjoyed the episode, send us someone you know.
Yeah, we'd love to because we took a little mini break. We had Sammy on, but we are loading up our guests for the upcoming months. I'm going to do the transition to Hawaii. I'm not going to say Don Nelson, but I will say Don Nelson. Stay tuned. We appreciate all you guys, though. We appreciate everybody's support. Thank you to my mom for listening every week. Love you guys. Anything for our listeners on our 50th, Rip?
Guaranteed Game 5 win for the Suns tonight.
Hell Phoenix. Yeah. Go Phoenix. What you got, Nas?
That might be an old takes exposed. We'll see.
Oh, of course, Nas calls them out. That's it. That's a great podcast, guys. We'll see you next week.
See ya.